Connection.
We're here to spark your growth, lift your spirit, and help you crush your potential.
Rise awakening, hear the call. Through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice where dreams awaken in life. Rise awakening, now is the time.
Rise Awakenings. Let's rise together.
I made a list with stars and dreams, all the ways I'll fix my seams. But the paper's torn, I've lost the plot. Accountability, I am not. I chase the wind, it slips my hand. A night of nowhere in quicksand. I'm chasing the impossible, holding me responsible. A tilted lance, a crooked fight. Still I charge into the night. I'm chasing the impossible. A mirror laughs says not today. Promises like clouds decay. I swear I'll do it, I'll stay true, but my shadow mocks me too. I build the walls, they tumble fast. The heroes vow that never lasts. I'm chasing the impossible, holding me responsible. A tilted lance, a crooked fight. Still I charge into the night. I'm chasing the impossible. Accountable, retrace my steps until I find the ways I can get back, not just my peace of mind. I'm chasing the impossible, holding me responsible. A tilted lance, a crooked fight. Still I charge into the night. I'm chasing the impossible. It's Brindlewolf and Diane, so listen up if you can. Yeah, journey with them today as they help you find your way. Oh, mental wellness is the topic of the hour. Mental health and the power to tap into our alignments will lead to our refinements. Phoenix Talk, a show like you've never seen. Phoenix Talks, awareness that has never been. Phoenix Talks with Brindlewolf and Diane. Phoenix Talks, so tune in if you can.
Welcome to Phoenix Talks. We're running a little bit late. That's all right. A little bit of Quixotic accountability on that one.
It's all my fault because I have to deal with it on my phone today, not my computer. So I'm taking full accountability for our technical difficulties because I couldn't get it to have any sound on my phone. So Michka got creative and helped me out. So now we're here. Thank you, Michka.
We figured it out, and we are here. And the opening song this week, Accountability Quixotic. You know, that was. Would you believe that that was created with me going into Suno and just da 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 da.
That's amazing.
That was it
Amazing.
for like 43 seconds, and I just kind of made it up as I
That's
went along.
amazing.
And it's so crazy that AI did that. And it's such a perfect song because
I love it.
Since we were talking about the whimsical a little bit, I was like, let's do something a little bit different because we've been kind of heavy with music lately. So,
Yeah.
And
It
did
was
you
perfect.
notice? Did you notice, guys, that the opening video changed?
It's beautiful. You did a
Because
great
somebody
job.
noticed. Thank you. Somebody noticed that I still had Phoenix Talk season 2 in the thing. And I was like, oh shit. So I changed it up a bit, added a few things here and there, some new touches, and
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
So thank you,
So I forgot where this.
Polyamorous.
Okay, thank you. I was going to say I forgot where we got this topic from. It was polyamorous. Okay, thank you,
Now let me.
polyamorous.
I forgot to open this up on my phone real quick. Let me take a quick look at what it was that she said because I asked her what because she was like, let's talk about personal accountability. I'm like, okay, well, where do you want to take this? And let's see if I can pull up I don't want to read the whole thing. Well, no, I am going to read it. She says, isn't it funny how sometimes simply asking the question out loud or writing it down brings more clarity than we ever anticipated? How one question leads us to the deeper question of why. After rereading my message to you and watching your preview for this week's show, I was able to ask myself why. Why do I find it relentless and obsessive task to hold others accountable, but not myself? But before that, she had said that she feels that it relates to integrity, like we talked about last week, much like how the topic of forgiveness that we discussed. I kind of feel it comes down to how we treat ourselves, whether we can reflect it outward. But of course, I would like to hear yours and Diane's perspective on this. Also, once we learn to take accountability for our own actions, here's where it gets juicy. How then do we begin to echo that essence outwardly? Can we mend bridges we have left neglected through our own lack of taking accountability, or is this a pursuit quixotic? She's the one who gave us the word and title. So all this to say, I feel seeking accountability in others may be somewhat oxymoronic. But once again, that's my take. So I looked it up and I'm like, okay, what does quixotic mean? It means foolishly impractical, especially in the pursuit of ideals. So I've been talking for 5 minutes. Your turn.
Okay, so first, let me say that accountability is directly tied into integrity. So that is 100% spot on because accountability cannot occur without honesty and truth. And so that's at the top of what's needed for accountability. And I think we should talk about both external and internal accountability. The external, for me, I believe, is easier than the internal because as long as you realize that you're not responsible for other people's reaction to you, it's much easier to say, hey, oh, that's totally my fault. I screwed up here and this is what I'm going to do to fix it. Okay. I believe that the integrity is in the repair, and accountability opens the door for that repair. And that doesn't come without honesty and sincerity.
Yep.
So I think that the external piece is important to talk about real quick before we dive deep into the whole how to hold yourself accountable. Because
Yeah.
the external accountability is practice, and it is very separate and different than internal accountability. Like, we like to hold everybody else accountable. We hold ourselves accountable externally when we screw up. And at the end of the day, the only issue that stops us from holding accountability or maintaining our own accountability externally is the other person's reaction, and is the fear of what does it mean for me, and what is it going to do for me. And I will tell you that it will earn you respect where it's aligned and where it's resonant with you. Accountability also helps you discern whoever in those external circumstances, or whatever situation in those external circumstances actually do align with you. It's also another way of learning about yourself. So if you're fearful of being honest and holding yourself accountable to something external from yourself, reevaluate. Why do you feel unsafe to express accountability? Are they people who do not have the bandwidth to receive that and to do it without shame and judgment towards you? So I think the external accountability is equally as important as the internal, because it assists you in discerning, number one, if you want these people in your space, or if this circumstance is aligned for you. It helps you get to know yourself, and it helps you learn different types of personalities and how they respond to you, so that you can better decide what you choose to experience with someone externally. And all of this is tied to integrity, period.
Oh, yeah. And Miss Hathery has a wonderful comment for us to dive into. I hold myself accountable for things I'm not even accountable for.
And that's on the outside. Okay, so we don't want to do that, because honesty comes first. Honesty has to come before accountability. So in those circumstances, you ask yourself, well, am I even responsible for this? And why am I taking responsibility for something that I shouldn't take responsibility for, that isn't mine?
Right. You apologize for that. You apologize for that right now. But I didn't do it. Well, you
But
apologize
why?
anyway.
Why?
But that's what we hear a lot. And that's it becomes a trauma bond that we have to apologize for things that we didn't do. And then for things that we're not even sorry for. That's another layer that we can get to later.
So that's where honesty comes in, because if you lack the honesty, the self-honesty and the truth, the accountability then it's not really accountability. Now it's just people pleasing.
Yep.
Now it's just self-betrayal. That's not the same as accountability. So let's separate the two, because there has to be that honest conversation. That's when it becomes a little bit quixotic.
There
you go. Excellent.
Okay, when you're apologizing and you're holding yourself accountable for things that you didn't do, and you think that you have to hold yourself accountable externally for things that you didn't do, or that aren't your responsibility or your accountability, okay, we've just entered quixotic.
That word too. That's a new word for me. I'm learning new things.
It's a new word for me too, and I had to spend the last week in incorporating it in a little bit here and there, just so that I would be able to talk about it. Thank you, Polyjammerous, for introducing it to me. I've heard it before, but it's one of those that's just not used very often.
So the accountability that Hathery's talking about is not really accountability. That's self-sacrifice, self-betrayal, and that's people-pleasing. So be honest with yourself first and ask yourself, is this something that I need to apologize for? And why am I apologizing for something that I shouldn't take responsibility for? I'm using that word should.
Yeah.
That's a big pile of should right there.
Oh, that you have to apologize to your sister even though you did nothing wrong, so that we can keep the peace, because your dad and I won't be here forever. Guilt trip.
Oh, the guilt trip apology. So let's talk about that, because there's ways to communicate externally with individuals. Like for something like that, for instance, okay, now we're all adults. In childhood, I understand, where we don't know the difference and we don't understand things, so we're just going to do what we're told. As adults, though, your outside people don't have a right to tell you to apologize for things that you aren't responsible for. And then it comes to a different perspective because the sister, all right, your sister may believe that she's owed an apology, and you may believe that, well, no, I don't owe you an apology because X, Y, and Z. I want you to hold firm on your truth because you don't have to agree or understand. There can be further communication, and use your discernment for that, because if it's family and you want to make sure you maintain a healthy relationship, discuss it further and give context. You can add context and discuss why you don't agree with or don't resonate and aren't aligned with the perspective of the other person. And sometimes they come around and understand. It's a matter of understanding each other. Okay? Because what you don't want to do is continue to betray yourself and continue to people please. That's not okay. So a third party does not have the right to demand you to make apologies. And instead, as an adult, it's between you and that individual, and for you two to come to an understanding with each other. I hope that clarifies that.
And if you're apologizing when you don't have any reason to apologize, you're being false. You're
That's not living in
false
truth.
ideals. You're holding false ideals that you feel like you have been programmed to do. Because that's just the proper way. Well, that's a bunch of Quixotic bullshit, if you ask me.
You're going to use that word over and over again.
I like saying it, Quixotic. I like saying it.
It is a fun word, isn't it?
It's a fun word. It's a sexy word.
That's funny.
I don't know why, but it's just a sexy word.
I'm trying to set myself up here so I'm standing up straight. So I apologize for all the movement, but I'm obviously not in my regular setup because I'm out of state today. I'm actually back in New Jersey for a short time. So apologies for all that movement. I know it's kind of weird.
Yes, it is another way in which accountability can become Quixotic, especially when you're using it from the standards, traditions, expectations of others, because we're trying to hold something true that isn't.
Right. Remember, truth has to happen, and that truth and honesty has to be in alignment with your truth and what feels right to you. Okay? You're not supposed to force yourself into a box because someone's feelings are hurt and your mama says to do it. Just no. We're not 7.
No. And this is not exotic quicksand.
And we don't all have to. Thank you. Very well done. We don't all have to agree. We can have different perspectives and respect each other's perspectives and understand each other. Right? Do we want to dive into the self-accountability aspect? Because they're kind of tied in together.
Oh, yeah, totally tied in together. Well, let's see. Where do we want to take this? I'm sorry. One of my regulars in my TikTok lives recently. She's projecting her images my way because I just had an image of somebody running with scissors. And this is a private joke in the lives. You'll have to come and check it out to understand what it means. But she's about, there it is. She's watching us over on YouTube right now and laughing hysterically. But,
that's great.
Love her. And, when it comes to internal accountability, that battle, that wonderful battle, I should be doing this and holding yourself accountable. And I'm sorry. I don't have more to say right now.
I think with the internal stuff, you cannot move through self-accountability unless you get rid of any underlying shame and judgment you're holding of yourself. And the idea that you say sorry for stuff that you didn't do, and that you basically trauma people who've survived trauma, they say sorry for everything because you're saying sorry for your existence, because everything about you has been a burden to somebody else, kind of whatever trauma issues bring up. The reality is you betray yourself in doing so, and you're shaming yourself for your existence. So that needs to go away right out the gate. And then you get to the real root of what self-accountability is, because otherwise it's just surface level, and it is at that I'm judging and shaming myself stage, and you're not actually diving deep to move yourself forward. So self-accountability at its root is holding yourself to a certain standard and holding yourself to your truth and moving yourself forward in life in directions that are in alignment with that integrity. So, for example, I'm going to work out 3 days a week. You never do it. Holding yourself accountable to what is in your overall health and well-being best interest, moving your goals forward, yourself forward. You know, there's things that you need to do in life just to get yourself to move forward. And that self-accountability is important in moving yourself forward in life. And that includes like from processing trauma, right? And holding yourself accountable to your actions and behaviors that led to certain responses that were traumatic. And then deciding without shame and judgment that you're going to do something different moving forward, and holding yourself accountable the next time something comes back around for you to practice, holding yourself accountable to doing something different.
Right.
So it comes with self-boundaries. Okay? So self-accountability comes with boundaries, comes with no shame, no judgment, and honesty at a deeper level. I almost feel like the external stuff is way easier than the internal stuff.
Oh yeah. And you know, it's interesting. You know, of course I've got a new word and I want to play with it, but when it comes to the deeper work of holding yourself accountable for your own actions, for the things that you didn't do, for what you want to do but you keep putting off, whatever you want to insert here, it's one of those things where, okay, you almost have to think quixotically to be able to hold yourself accountable, because it feels false, it feels wrong, it feels completely out of character and impractical. So you actually have to put yourself into that kind of mindset. You know, I'm sure that 99% of the human race doesn't walk around thinking, oh my goodness, I have to think quixotically so that I can hold myself accountable correctly. You know, it just doesn't happen. But that's what we're doing. When we're trying to figure out, how am I going to hold myself accountable so that I'm living who I want to be and being true to myself, holding my highest integrity. And the actual, which this is the reason for the use of the word tonight, quixotic, but the quixotic accountability that is in the reality of how we hold ourselves accountable for our own integrity and in doing what we're doing. Because it's a false premise through and through. Apologize when you don't mean it. No, stop it. You ever apologize to me and you don't mean it, I'm gonna know it. But that's just me.
I mean, sometimes it's habit. Sometimes we apologize out of habit. Sometimes we take accountability for stuff just to keep the peace. That's all self-betrayal. And so we're not supposed to judge ourselves for it. We're just supposed to hold ourselves accountable to a different standard so that we can help ourselves heal. It's the accountability is important in the assistance of the repair process. Okay. And this is both for internal and external, because how many times are we in a relationship and it doesn't matter what it is, what the dynamic is, any kind of relationship. And you're with somebody who will not take accountability, which does not open the door for repair. Accountability is the honesty and truth that happens in accountability. For accountability to be present opens the door for repair.
Yep.
And without the repair, you're not going to move forward. Period. The same cycle is going to repeat over and over again with the same people, with yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you holding yourself accountable opens you up to, okay, let me repair what doesn't work for me and create a new way of thinking and being.
Right.
Mhm.
I pinned this on the screen, but it's too long, so I'm just going to read it. Polygrammer says, I always try to be a person of my word. When I ran my own business, I obsessed on this. It actually drove me nuts when people didn't follow through. At the same time, I learned most people are full of shit and are not people of their words. Overall, it left me feeling jaded and drained. The irony is, I look back at my perspective on reality, had become quite jaded as far as what my standards and moral compass had become, because of the lack of accountability from other people and the lack of integrity from other people that, well, okay, looks like, smells like, feels like this other person, so apparently everybody's like that.
Well, not everybody. And I think that, so this is, in the beginning, I was saying how accountability helps you discern who needs to be in your life and who doesn't, and who aligns with you and who doesn't. That's what that sounds like to me. It sounds like you discovered who's not aligned with you. And so maybe integrity needs to be part of the vetting discussion, whatever that looks like to you, or part of the requirements that you have. You don't have high standards. You have basic, like, life needs. Is you need to show up as you are, and you need to be integrous, and you need to hold yourself accountable. And just because there's a lot of people out there who don't, because of their own trauma and ignorance and inability. I mean, don't forget culture, society, programming. Most people are not as integrous as you are. So you're more self-aware and consciously aware. I promise you there's more people out there like you. And you don't want to lower your standards of integrity and honesty because of some actors out there who are unaware and ignorant.
Yep. And I've had this comment up the whole time she was speaking, because I wanted you guys to read it again and again.
Okay. What does
and
it
again.
say?
I had to learn that people who will not be held accountable are truly disrespecting themselves.
Very good. And that's not your responsibility.
Did you read that again, or did you want me to read that again? Because I can.
Right. 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 Not your responsibility. And you're obviously not aligned. Are there dishonest people out there? Yeah. I mean, the world trains you to be dishonest from the gate. It's, we're born in truth. We're born with all these wonderful qualities until, our programming gets to us. Society, exactly. It's poop. Society, culture, religious, whatever dogma you end up digesting and incorporating into your experience. It's been so normalized. You have to anticipate and use your discernment with whom you share space with, do business with, etc. There needs to be a vetting process that you include in every aspect of your life. Okay.
And remember from last week, like when it comes to owning up to emotions and how you feel about a situation or a person, it's not your responsibility to change the situation. It's your accountability to address how you feel and address it to them. How they take it is not your responsibility. How they answer it is not your accountability. That's
Right.
theirs. What they
Right.
decide to do with what you are presenting with integrity and holding yourself accountability, that is on you.
Yeah.
And otherwise, you're just hurting and disrespecting yourself and the relationship that you have with that other person.
Yeah.
And that's tough because there's some shit people just don't want to have to say to another human being.
Right.
But sometimes, well, come into my TikTok lives. We'll talk. I'm gonna tell you like it is, and I'm not apologetic about it.
No,
Well,
I mean, truth.
kinda.
Is it true? Is it true? Is it
True,
relevant? Is it
and
kind? Right.
Yes, right.
And really, all people want is to be heard and respected. And most people don't know even how to do that or what that looks like to
Right.
give, because they haven't been taught that. The unhealthy stuff is what's normalized. So it really is a learning process, and that learning process has to be without shame. That learning process has to be without judgment.
Right.
And the more you learn what's healthy and unhealthy, the more you're able to truly be accountable for yourself and hold others accountable in a realistic way. Because sometimes we project our expectations out there and hold people accountable to our projected expectations that may not align with them.
Yeah.
And so discernment is a big thing in this as well. But it always begins and ends with honesty and truth. And it has to be your honesty with yourself to know your truth. Yeah.
And there's
Polyjammers, how
never
do
a
you,
good time.
the best time is now. We only have now.
So if you're waiting for a time to hold yourself accountable or to with yourself or with somebody else, if you wait, you're just prolonging it. Because there's never a good time. In most cases for accountability.
Yeah.
It's just uncomfortable. It's just very
And-
levels of discomfort.
And this is a great time to remind folks that that discomfort is the lack of feeling safe. And
Yep.
so truth sets us free and honesty sets us free, because our nervous system relaxes in truth. If we hold ourselves accountable without judgment of ourselves or whatever the other person's responses are going to be, or internalizing stuff,
Right.
we can help ourselves feel safe. Because ultimately, if you know you have integrity and you know you're X, Y, and Z, good person, kind of whatever, and someone else in your world isn't able to see that, and there's going to be drama involved, then obviously that's telling you you're not aligned, and that's got to be okay. You have to allow yourself to feel safe in your truth and feel firm in that safety of that truth, regardless of the noise that happens around you. Now, when it's internal, it's you making the noise. So, you can set boundaries for yourself and make sure you don't judge yourself and don't shame yourself for whatever discoveries you're making of yourself.
Right.
Or having. Mm-hmm.
And polyjammers, that's just it. I think sometimes I'm so aware of others projecting that I hesitate to even state my own needs for fear of feeling like I manipulated others, to the extent that I always feel manipulated by others. When you come across somebody who has proven that they're not going to hold themselves accountable and they don't have good integrity, there's a level of gratitude that you can hold on the inside, whether you express it to them or not, because thank you for showing me who you are so that I know how to respond and react to you if I have to continue working with you or have you in my life.
Right.
Because
Remember,
it gives you the level of trust that you need to extend.
right. Remember, you're not responsible for other people. You're not responsible for their behavior, their thoughts, their actions, their learned ignorance, their whatever. You're just not responsible for them. They're in their own little world, having their own little experience, just like you are. So you have to decide, this is my truth. I'm so damn secure in my own truth that it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks or says. And I'm not here to make others comfortable. I'm not here to be understood. I'm here to understand myself. So that means my top priority and my boundary for myself to maintain accountability, self-accountability, is I get to be on my priority list. I'm at the top of my own priority list.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that the previous, what you just read, sounds a lot like people pleasing again.
A bit.
Yeah,
Maybe a little
don't
bit.
do that. Don't do that. And you're judging yourself and saying that you're manipulating others when the reality is no. You're only responsible for yourself. If your truth is uncomfortable for others, that's not your problem. You're only responsible for yourself. You have to be the priority.
Oh, here's a challenging question for us, and I'm going to let you start the answer. But how could I ever ask for help or understanding from someone else, if I don't hold some space for others to bring their issues to me?
Nobody said you can't let others bring their issues to you. Of
Right.
course they can. You don't necessarily have to agree with them or be in alignment with them. This is, again, discovery. So accountability is huge in helping you discover what resonates with you and what's aligned with you and what doesn't. And you can't feel guilty or responsible for everybody else and feel like you have to make peace and be this and be that. No, you don't. You are the only one responsible for yourself. That people can bring you stuff that don't mean that it's aligned with you and don't mean you have to agree with it or do it or sacrifice yourself for it. Use your discernment. You're your priority. If it's okay to say things to people like, I'm not comfortable with that. That really doesn't resonate with me. I appreciate you bringing that to my attention and I understand your perspective. However, this is my perspective and where I'm coming from. It's okay to say stuff like that.
Yeah. It's also safe to say that you can set better boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
If you're worried about people not holding accountability, not holding integrity, but you can also be there for them. And yeah, it is anxious. It does create those rumble strips on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about what you just
Right.
said.
Right.
But you
if
can
people
still be there.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to devote your energy to them. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people mistake, is that you can be there for somebody without devoting your energy to them.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
Right.
if they've shown
You
you
can
that
be the container and hold, you can be the container and hold space for someone to express themselves freely, even if it involves something that they're pointing out within you that doesn't resonate with them or whatever. But that doesn't mean that you receive it and accept it. It doesn't mean that you decide that, oh, they must be right because they're saying it. Their perspective could be completely different than yours, and what aligns with them doesn't mean that it aligns with you. Again, when you're on your priority list, it becomes a no-brainer. And then boundaries such as, I'm not comfortable with that, or let me add some context to that. I see where you're coming from, but let me add some context for better understanding. You can speak in those ways to come to that understanding if it's something that you feel like is important to do, but it's not a requirement. I have literally said to, like somebody was throwing shade at me and saying stuff at me, whatever, years ago. And I have said to them, don't receive anything that you're projecting at me right now. None of this is aligned with me, and I do not resonate with the energy that you are expressing it in. So the conversation needs to change. And the intention and the energy needs to change immediately because I do not accept it. I'm okay with saying stuff like that because guess what? I'm on my priority list. More drama is not my priority. That's a you inside job. So that
Your
is,
urgency is not my emergency.
thank you. So, that being
We need
said,
t-shirts that say that.
yes, yes, we do.
Your urgency
Yeah,
is not my emergency.
right,
I've been
right.
trying to remember that phrase for a couple years, and it finally just landed right at the right time.
Today was the day.
Today was the day.
Yes.
Because, yes, people are trauma dumping, and they're trauma dumping at an emergent level for them because they're feeling the push to hold themselves accountable for all the bullshit that they've been holding on to. And oh, guess what, Tag, you're it for their dumping grounds because they're like, oh, here, you can have this. I don't want it no more. And you're like, I don't think so.
And a reminder, not everyone's on the healing journey like you are. Some people live in their blissful ignorance. And a lot of their projections are their judgments and their expectations that you didn't ask for and you didn't sign up for. Uh-oh, what are you reading?
Sometimes I have to just say, hey, I'm sorry, but I'm just a squirrel and this above my pay grade. Oh, Tiffany would love that statement.
That's funny.
That is hysterical.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Seriously. Seriously, though.
You are your priority. You are not responsible for other people.
Yeah.
For me, accountability can only open the door for repair if it's a two-way street. And with yourself, it's you, yourself, and you.
Right.
So, but with other people, that door for repair is never going to open if um, the accountability doesn't work both ways.
Right.
And the honesty isn't there in both circumstances, on both sides. You might be at a more consciously aware level of understanding and are on this healing journey and can dive deep into emotions and recognize how they might appear and surface in your outward experience, whilst the person you're dealing with may not be on a healing journey and they're living on that surface level of project everything at someone else and make them put you on the priority list instead of them doing the work themselves. It's almost like they're handing over the emotional labor without identifying what's underneath their reaction. And that's not on you to do.
Yeah.
If you
Not at
see it
all.
and you recognize it, you can call it out if you want to, but in a very respectful way. You say, I see that this upsets you. What about this specifically upsets you? And what is it that you understand about this circumstance or situation? And then see if you are interested in putting your energy out there to elaborate further, to add context for deeper understanding. Because maybe they'll connect some dots and have some aha moments and recognize some things. Maybe not.
Yeah. And Heather is not alone in the statement that she just made because she says, I've got that treat others how you want to be treated firmly in my brain. So it's almost like I have to have a reciprocity bank available in case I ever need their help. Uh-huh. And I think that might be a little batty. It's common, unfortunately.
You can treat
But
others how you want to be treated, but you teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself and what you allow and what you don't allow.
treat yourself how you want others to treat you. Don't
Right.
treat others how you want to be treated. Treat yourself how you want others to treat you? Do I need to say it again? Do I need to type it up, put it in a bold statement, and say, treat yourself how you want others to treat you?
I feel like that's a people pleaser trap. Because when we treat everyone the way you want to be treated. Yes, that's fine, but not everyone is you, has your heart, has your kindness, has your compassion. So you may be treating individuals who don't really need to be having access to your energy in the way that you're giving it to them. Instead, you could be just setting the boundaries that you need to be setting and making sure that they understand that that's not acceptable or comfortable for you. I can't read that. What does it say?
It's what I said. Hattery said, yes, I need to.
Okay.
So I created a little billboard.
Okay. Yeah. People learn how to treat you.
And she took a screenshot of that shit, okay?
Good. Right, because people learn how to treat you based on how you treat yourself. This is why self-accountability is so important, because part of self-accountability is having boundaries and speaking up for yourself and setting the tone on what you will and won't accept in your experience. That's also how you find your fellow aligned people.
Yep. And see, I'm learning more about my scissor running friend from TikTok, Stephanie. She's over on YouTube by herself. So we're going to bring up her comment real quick because this needs to be heard too. I was always told that it's being selfish and to always take the hits. Incoming F-bomb. Fuck that.
You can throw that shit in the trash and set it on fire in the dumpster with the rest of the crap that you learned. That, unfortunately, has been normalized. That's actually unhealthy. So it's a de-gaslight yourself from that crap that you learned and learn instead what's healthier, what's more aligned with what gives you more peace on the inside. And that is going to be not sacrificing yourself like that.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. What?
I'm just this whole topic, it's just it's a slight trigger for me personally with all of the you apologize, you say you're sorry, you hold yourself accountable. Meanwhile, you're over here like, what the fuck did I do? I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't hurt anybody. But you're asking me to hold myself accountable for an action that I did that I was supposed. Oh, this goes back to dominoes because there's some things that I was asked to do as a GM that went against my integrity, and I was going to be the one held accountable for it. But meanwhile, the bosses were telling me what to do. Yeah. And that was no bueno. And I told them that, and I said, "I'll give. What do you want me? I'm not doing it because this is going on your head unless you're giving me in writing." It's one of those things where if you are asked to go outside of your integrity, meanwhile, you're going to be the one that's held accountable for going outside the integrity, being told by the person that they're going to cover you. That's a bunch of bullshit that they're not going to hold up. And you can just say no. And if they fire you, then say thank you. Because you just saved me a court case.
Yeah. Nothing is worth you losing your integrity and betraying yourself. It ain't. Especially in abusive relationships. No matter what the dynamic is, right? You're manipulated into apologizing for someone else who just had bad behavior towards us through guilt, shame, fear. That.
Yeah.
Okay? Accountability can only come with honesty. So are you being honest with yourself with regards to, do I need to even apologize for this? Or do I need to set a boundary here so I teach this person what I will and will not accept?
Yeah. And
because you open...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Finish your statement.
I was going to say you open yourself for more manipulation that way and more gaslighting that way if you don't set boundaries.
And if the Quixotic situation that I just described that I used to have to battle through resonates with you on some level, and it triggers something inside, time to look at it and hold yourself accountable for how you are allowing it to affect you.
Right. Right.
And to take a
Are you
different
operating
look.
in fear? Right. Are you operating out of fear? I mean, Micah, I'm glad that you were brave enough to not fear losing the job. You know what I mean? Because that sounded like an abusive situation.
Oh yeah, I left on my
And
terms, not theirs.
good. Yeah.
Calmly.
Right. Right. There's the boundaries. There's you will and will not accept. It's your life. And life is very precious. And your time and your energy is so, so very precious. So hold yourself accountable to what means something to you and what moves you forward and what feels right to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
And not this.
And when we need to hold others accountable to whatever it is that doesn't align with us, again, true relevance, kindness. That's it. Stick to the facts. Is it relevant to this circumstance? And only relevant to this circumstance because, we get carried away with the history and this and that. You know what I mean? Like, no. Truth, relevance, kindness. Is it kind?
Yeah.
Okay, because maybe it's relevant, but it's really unkind. So some things you got to censor, in order to maintain your own integrity, and that integrity lives in compassion and unconditional love. You'll be safe because you don't want to get walked all over, and you do need to hold others accountable. Their response tells you if they belong in your life.
Right.
So if you're in fear of their response, that tells you already they don't belong in your life.
No, Steph, you do not.
What was the question?
So I don't have to do that? No. You actually never did. Surprise. Surprise. Let me get one of those little streamer poppers and go, surprise. Oh, man. Well, we could go on and on and on and on. I'm
I
sure.
know we can. And I
But we have.
appreciate everyone waiting for a little bit while we had technical issues.
Oh, they've been looking forward to this one. I know some of them have.
Yeah, this is a good one. And accountability is one of those tough things because it does get confused with people pleasing, with this, with that, with the other. But remember, the honesty and the truth has to come from within and has to be completely in alignment with what feels safe for you. Because ultimately it's about creating safety in our lives. And we can't have peace when we can't have inner peace when we don't feel safe. Safety comes from that honesty.
Yeah. Even if it doesn't feel like it.
Right.
And it doesn't present itself that way. But you cannot find peace otherwise.
Mm-hmm. So remember, you're on the priority list.
Yeah, sometimes the first step and the first conversation, the first hard conversation is the most important.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're the most important.
Right. So if you're in a dynamic where you don't feel safe, you have permission to survive that circumstance in a way that's necessary to maintain a degree of safety for yourself. So I don't want you to feel like if you're in a situation that could become dangerous, that you feel like you're going to shame yourself and judge yourself if you need to. Your integrity, or let me rephrase this. Your integrity and self-accountability is going to look different in circumstances that are dangerous. Yeah. It's going to sound like I'm going to tell this person whatever they need to heal to keep myself safe. I'm going to flip the script. That yes, you may need to speak in a way that lacks integrity in here, because it's keeping you safe to say things that will allow you to endure the circumstance until you can get to safety. However, that is holding your own integrity, because your highest priority is your safety. And if that means you have to do what you need to do in order to get yourself into a safe place because you are in danger, you are accountable for your safety first. What's that
And
say?
Hathery would like to know if we can talk about that more next time. Safety and how it affects decisions and actions.
Oh my God, does it affect decisions and actions? That's a great topic. Yeah.
It is a great topic. I might ask somebody to join us, not Heather, but somebody else who we've actually had a series of conversations about that topic over on
Okay.
Omega Empowerment. So we might,
Okay.
we
Maybe
might
Carrie will come
invite
on.
somebody. Maybe.
Okay.
And maybe that might be one of those shows where I run it and let you guys do the talking.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yes, I know.
She's like, that's a
There's
scary topic. I don't know if I want to go there or not.
I know, and we have to talk about abuse, because we got to stop hiding it, and we got to stop like making it okay to be abused. No, it's not okay. And in order to get yourself to move forward, you have to understand the different categories and the different options that you have, that you need to utilize in order to keep yourself safe. Okay.
Wait,
So
go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hide next week. Because you know what next week is, right?
Yes. Should we tell them now?
Because we're going to be in the same room next week.
Yes, we are. Since I'm in New Jersey, I'm heading towards Michka next week, so I will be in his presence, and we'll get to do the show in the same place.
And hopefully we'll only have to worry about one tech working correctly.
Yes. Thank the Lord. Woo! That's much better.
Yes, right.
Yes, because my computer's on the fritz, so that's why I had to use my phone.
I am going to ask Hathery real quick. You don't have to do it right this second, but do send me a nice breakdown, like I shared that Polyjammers did over in private, and I will get to work on that for next week. So,
Right.
so that we can have another great opening song to
Yeah.
talk about getting to safety.
Oh yeah, because I feel like that's going to be a heavy topic about abusive situations, and that's okay, because we need to talk about that, and it's going to be a very important topic, because everything is different.
It's a large topic, so we need it condensed.
Yeah, and
help
everything.
us with the pinpoint that you want us to go on with that, and I know that you're really good at that too. So
Yeah, good. I know. I think that's so important, because everything is so different when you're not safe.
Yeah.
Yes, and you
look
can
at
do
you.
everything right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's really that's the way that you can hold yourself accountable. You can do the best you can in that circumstance, so you can maintain your integrity to a certain degree, because you're keeping yourself safe. You can use different techniques and tactics, like you can hold them accountable simply by repeating the statement that they make towards you. Okay. We'll go more in deep, because right now I'm still on accountability. We'll go deeper into the safety aspect next week. But you can hold them accountable, the unsafe person, by just simply repeating everything they just told you.
Yeah.
And sometimes saying it out loud gives them a different response, because they might backtrack, or they might say, no, that's not what I said. So now they're gaslighting you. So it also reveals a different aspect of them for you to mark red flags next to for yourself.
Right.
So it's the discovery process of in those unsafe environments and where there's accountability that's coming up is going to assist you in learning more about how to detach yourself and hold yourself as the highest priority. We'll go into details on the safety aspect next week. I don't want to go into it too much now because I know that's I'm trying to tiptoe around it so I don't, but yeah, I'm tiptoeing too lightly now. It's getting weird. So let me just, I'm going to, until next week.
Until next
Same
week.
bat time, same bat channel.
And Rockin' Chair's like, we need to condense.
Yeah.
He just smiles with a look of, yeah, and? But yeah.
Yes.
Well, don't
It's
forget.
that time.
Don't forget,
Healing Rose. Yay. Yes, check me out on all the socials. And I can always chat with you real quick if you have something that's bothering you. So I always give people 10 minutes at minimum. And then if they don't have to book a session, 10 minutes is good. We can cover a lot in 10 minutes.
I mean, you can have a cup of coffee, no poop, I promise.
That's it.
I promise.
Yes, but you'll find me on the socials. I don't advertise myself like that. Like I don't know how to promote myself. I know how. It's awkward. I'm still that's my issue. I'm working through it. I have my own homework.
I'm just
Mike is helping me with that. Because you're so good at it, Micah.
when I remember. But yeah, guys, go over and check out her website. It's beautifully done. And she does have a lot to offer and will really help you out. I mean, you hear how she talks, and she's so much more eloquent in what she says than she doesn't have to read a script to speak eloquently. Meanwhile, I trip over my words and I'm searching for them all night long. So.
Our strengths complement each other.
or I throw them into a book. Because I type so much better than I talk. It's just a thing because I don't have to worry about how it's going to come out. It just flows. But if you haven't picked up the book yet, it is an amazing book. I'm going to pat myself on the back because it just is. And if you would like more information about my pricing schedule, no, I still haven't changed it. It's still the same. Congratulations. You're still one step ahead of 2026 because I guarantee it's going to be higher then. So if you're interested in stepping into the Phoenix path, let me know because I would love to help you do that. And if you need to get a small taste of that find me on TikTok, Brindlewolf, and check it out around 11 p.m. Eastern because most nights I'm over there. Stephanie can attest to that, and so can Angel Eyes if she's still here because Angel Eyes is one of my moderators over there. So it's a lot of fun. We have a good time, especially if I have a troll come into the room and I go off on them. Everybody loves that. Everybody loves to see Papa give a dose to somebody. So enough of that. Thanks, guys, so much. We will be back next week, and looks like we're going to talk about safety.
Thank you for the topic.
Yes, thank you so much for the topic. Thank you again, Polyjammers, for the accountability Quixotic. And just in case you missed it at the opening, I'm going to play it again because I just I like bookending the show.
I do too. I love it.
So that you can really get an appreciation for what the song was written for. And so Have an amazing night. Have an amazing week.
you.
Lunaria will be back this Friday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. Don't forget to tune into that for Illuminate. And we have a
Yes.
new show coming December 6th at 10 a.m. Eastern called Riff with Tiff. She is a creator. She is the creative comeback coach over on TikTok. And what an amazing person. And I can't wait to see what she's going to bring to Rise Awakenings. And we are so excited to have her part of the team now. So there's your news.
And then we have the core that's
And
coming.
and the core is also coming on December 4th.
Yes. And that's going to be Michka, Lunaria, and myself.
Just in
And
case I
that'll
wasn't
be-
on camera enough. Is this my bad
That'll
side?
be
Anyway,
another amazing show. We're each going to have our own decks and pull from and talk about, tie it all together.
yep, the
It'll
core.
be amazing messages.
It will be.
Mhm.
We got so much coming up, and
I know, it's
many
so
amazing
exciting.
things happening. So, have an amazing night, and we will see you next week. Love you guys.
Yay.
Love yourselves.
Love you.
And for fuck's sake, keep going.
Hold yourself.
I made a list with stars and dreams, all the ways I'll fix my seams. But the paper's torn, I've lost the plot. Accountability, I am not. I chase the wind, it slips my hand. A night of nowhere in quicksand. I'm chasing the impossible, holding me responsible. A tilted lens, a crooked fight. Still I charge into the night. I'm chasing the impossible. A mirror laughs says not today. Promises like clouds decay. I swear I'll do it, I'll stay true, but my shadow mocks me too. I build the walls, they tumble fast. The heroes vow that never lasts. I'm chasing the impossible, holding me responsible. A tilted lens, a crooked fight. Still I charge into the night. I'm chasing the impossible. Gotta hold myself accountable, retrace my steps until I find the ways I can get back, not just my peace of mind. I'm chasing the impossible, holding me responsible. A tilted lens, a crooked fight. Still I charge into the night. I'm chasing the impossible.
It's Brindlewolf and Diane, so listen up if you can. Yeah, journey with them today as they help you find your way. Oh, mental wellness is the topic of the hour. Mental health and the power to tap into our alignments will lead to our refinements. Phoenix Talk, a show like you've never seen. Phoenix Talks, awareness that has never been. Phoenix Talks with Brindlewolf and Diane. Phoenix Talks, so tune